And now it's our Android journey section. And this week, as we announced at the beginning, it's from Alina Heiberger. Welcome again, Alina.
I'm Romanian and I live in Vienna, in Austria.
So you're joining us from Music City, Austria, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So tell us then, how did you get into Android?
I came from, I had Symbian before, two phones. And from there I got directly into Android. I didn't have any experience with, iOS, an iPhone or something. Yeah.
So you had that Symbian phone.
Yeah, actually, I had
of course,
two
a lot
phones.
of us did have the Symbian, right?
Two of them.
So what happened after that Symbian? What pushed you to look for an alternative?
I heard that we can use touchscreen.
That
phones.
blind people could use a touch screen and things like that,
people,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So you kind of got curious about it.
Yes. And I was told by someone in school, actually, one of my class, someone
one
from
of your
my
classmates.
Mates, yeah.
One of your classmates
Sorry.
told
me
the fact that we
actually
have that.
he was he had some site, but he said he knew someone who uses the touchscreen and with speech
and
blind. Blind. I think he had some site as well. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, I was curious about it, and I wanted to try it, the touchscreen, because I wanted to know how it's laid out, where all the buttons are, and how it looks kind of visually.
So which one was your first one, Alina, after you decided to go try it? Do you remember what phone it was, what Android version that was? It's hard to remember these things because it's a long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, in at the end of 2014, I think. Yeah, a long time ago.
So it probably was running maybe like Jelly Bean or
I
Kit
don't remember
Kat.
the phone, what the phone was called, but it had Jelly Bean.
A lot of phones have Jelly Bean back in 2014.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and it was really cheap phone. It had a screen I couldn't even scroll with 2 fingers. It didn't support 2 more fingers. That kind of screen. And I used that for a few months, and then in 2015, someone showed me his phone. He was sighted person, but he was showing me what it sounds like, the speakers, and it was an HTC, I think M8 or something. I don't remember the
maybe
name.
It was the M8 or the M7. The HTC M7 was the very first one that gave us that nice sound in the metallic build in Android. Yeah, so you probably was either M7 or M8.
Yeah, M8 it was, and obviously I wanted one because I like the sound, but I couldn't afford it, and I went for the HTC Mini. It was a mini version of it. But less storage and less, performance. I mean, another processor and all that. It was not the flagship M8, and that one had Android 4.4. That was Kit Kat, I think. Yeah, and that was a good phone for its time, and then I think in 2016 we switched carriers. That was in Romania, by the way. We lived in Romania at that time, and my mother had an old phone that didn't support the 4G. And I gave her that HTC, and I got another HTC because I like the sound. I don't remember what the exact name of it, but it wasn't it was a kind of mid-range phone, not a flagship. Yeah, and I used that for a while. That had Lollipop, I think. Yeah, Android 5. And I've used that for, don't know exactly. And at the end of 2017, I got the Motorola phone, the Moto G5S Plus, and that had Android 7.1, I think. Yeah, something like that. And it was a much better phone. I mean, well, not the sound, but it was, faster and more much better specifications, and also more storage and RAM, that kind of thing. And for a long time it had Android 7, and I wanted actually to put a custom ROM on that phone, but I didn't manage. I've done something wrong. I mean, happened with it.
You are trying to baptize it in the Mongolian River, and at that time, of course, you didn't.
Bootloader, but didn't get.
You didn't realize that the minister was there. Oh my gosh,
but that
Alina.
Was in 2018 or something.
Yeah. So that was the 5 Moto G5 Plus, right? It's a good phone,
5S
actually.
Plus, yeah.
Yeah, 5S Plus. That's right. It's a good phone.
Yeah, it was a good phone.
Out of the Moto G5 series, that was probably the best of them.
After a while, it got Android 8.1. So yeah, I didn't bother roaming it.
Yeah. Then what did you get after the Moto G phone?
Yeah, and I actually had quite bad experience. I mean, frustrating somehow with the soft braille keyboard. I type in braille with the on the phone, and with that Moto G5 phone. I went then for the.
Was the experience not good using braille? Because you're probably talking about something like the soft braille keyboard, right?
Yeah, with the soft braille keyboard.
And how was the experience on that Moto G?
I mean, on that Moto G, it wasn't that great, but it worked on the HTC.
Okay.
Before that, and so in November 2018, I think. Anyway, at the end of 2018, I got the Xiaomi Mi A2, the Android One phone. Yeah, and that was much better. I like that phone. Then we moved to Vienna, and we got some phones here from the carrier. And in 2019, also kind of about at the end of it, I got the S10, Samsung Galaxy S10, and that's my my current phone.
Well, that's a great story, though, Alina. So you you're now rocking the S10, which is a whole lot better than the Moto G5, which is a mid-ranger. You're now using a flagship phone, which is a nice modern phone. So it's been quite a journey there for you, hasn't it? What would you say to somebody who's just starting with Android and they're probably struggling and feeling like, hey, I just want to throw this thing out the window? What would your advice be? Would you advise them to stick with it and play with it some more, or just go ahead and open that window and throw it out?
I guess keep trying,
Yeah, that's right. Because if you were able to handle it back then with that little phone that was probably maybe not bigger than a 2-inch or whatever, and you were able to use that phone back then in 2014, then I guess, nowadays with all the nicer phones that we have, it's actually a better experience, isn't it? When you pick up a phone from 2014 and you pick up a phone from today, it's a huge, huge difference. So your story makes all the sense to me. Thank you so much, Alina.
I didn't think I would have so many phones. I wanted to have a phone and keep it for a few years, but
for a long time
didn't work.
No, you can't, because things keep changing, and when they change, you want to experience that new thing. I think that's one of those things that pushes us to getting something new, is that things keep changing, and then something better comes along. Of course, we want to get that new thing. Who wouldn't want a new thing? I would. Thank you so much for your Android journey story, and we encourage people to always come and tell us their Android journey story. This is my favorite segment of the podcast, by the way, because some are very funny, like Alina's little phone and all of that, and, and all of that. So very
I actually
interesting
like
story.
big phones, but yeah.
Thank you. Now that's my girl.
Yeah, but actually the S10 is not that big. It has a bigger display, but
I have the Samsung Galaxy A90 5G. It's an absolute beast. It's a huge phone.
No, that's the phone.
My
that
mother
Alina
has
needs.
the A70. I liked it. I like it because it's so big,
Why don't you change that? Maybe we switch with your mom.
Yeah, actually, it was. We agreed. Actually, we were supposed to get 2 of them, but for some reason, my mother wanted the S10 for herself. And when I heard the speakers on the S10, I said, no, I want it because I'm after the sound,
Well, actually, the S10 is a whole lot better than, that's a flagship phone. You know what I mean? Even though it's from, when did we get the S10? Was that in 2019? I don't remember. Yeah, 2019. So while it's an older phone, it's still a better processor when you compare it to the A70, which is a mid-range phone. So you went for the gusto, you went for the good stuff. However, because you prefer the bigger screen, you probably could have said, hey, Mom, you take the S10.
Well, I was thinking then the sound is more important to me than the screen.
That is true.
But
that's true. All right, so I think that's it for the My Android Journey story. Of course, Austin will be giving you guys info to join us if you want to come on live, or if you want to pre-record and send your Android Journey story. Austin will also give you that info.
Austin, how do people get in touch with us?
For people to get in touch with us, they can visit our website, that is blindandroidusers.com. If you want to come live, or if you have any questions or feedback or whatever you want us to come on your show, or you have some newsletter that you want us to be promoted on, you can send us that all information by emailing us. Contact us at blindandroidusers.com. But if you cannot come on live and you want to send us a pre-recorded My Android Journey story, you can email us at myandroidjourney@blindandroidusers.com. You can subscribe to our mailing list by emailing blindandroidusers plus subscribe at groups.io. And the links for Telegram, Twitter, YouTube, and Clubhouse, our club on Clubhouse, will be in the show notes. And we are going to have a surprise for you, which will be announced, I think, in the next episode. There's going to be some surprise on Clubhouse. So stay tuned for the next episode.
Thanks, Austin. And most importantly, thanks to everyone for listening. And we shall see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
And that has been another episode of the Blind Android Users Podcast. As always, we appreciate hearing from you. You send those email messages to contact us at blindandroidusers.com. For those My Android Journey stories, we encourage you to send those to myandroidjourney@blindandroidusers.com. Until we see you in our next episode, you have a wonderful day.